What's going on, Gemini? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just incredible, amazing. I'm not sure what I was about to say, Gemini, but it really just takes, I'm at a loss for words. And it keeps us growing, hopefully. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy your higher self has brought you here. We're in for an amazing journey, I promise. So, Gemini, this is your general energy weekly spread. Oh, see, now I lost the melody. I had a real cool melody too earlier, Gemini. I'm going to get it together. But with this weekly video, whenever you happen to come across this thing, there may be some messages in here for you. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the word salad with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So, with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. There's great energy all around here, Gemini. So, Gemini, I'm going to pull a few oracle cards from this deck here, and then we will get some details with the tarot. Before we jump into this thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? Thank you. And in case of y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below some links for some other readers that I like watching, Gemini, so check them out. Very cool group, so hopefully you'll like them. But let's see what your first card is here, Gemini. Ooh, we're bringing it. You got the fifth card of Leo's here, which is the Dynamite card. Look at you. And with this card, this is a card of excitement, passion, action, suspense, destroy, powder keg, fantastic, energetic, breakup, catalyst for chain, explosive, short fuse, firecracker, blast, sudden, unexpected, and fast. An energy that's coming through here, Gemini, is action. And so if there's something that maybe we've been sitting on for a little bit, you know, like maybe we have like a time sensitive thing and that we've been kind of procrastinating on, you know, or something that if we've been putting off something, I feel where Gemini, you know, I get it. You know, wanting to, sometimes it's like when we think about like having to tackle, let's say like maybe a difficult discussion, or maybe even like a certain, like, you know, maybe like bills, or maybe we got like court stuff or whatever that is, or you know, whatever, it's something that's just like it's going against what we want to do, but you still got to do it. I do feel that, you know, as it makes sense, the more that we just get ahead of those things, it's just that we just go ahead and just knock it out, be done with it. It may not be pleasant in that moment, but it's like once we're over it, it's taking up less of your energy then, and it like really kind of frees up. You know how that feels once you kind of get those things out the way, Gemini. It's like a huge, like a weight is just kind of lifted off of your shoulders here, and so I do feel like that there is an energy just, to not try to let that stuff sit too long, or try not to let too many things compound as once. Because, you know, life can be tricky. You know, you're putting off one thing and then, you know, it's like a whole, you know how life can be sometimes. But I'm also kind of getting with this energy too, you know. There's an energy here, because Leo is very, very passionate energy, but I'm almost feeling like more so kind of like getting like the heart type of energy here, where it's like, you know, leading with like, you know, whatever dreams that you have or something along those lines, because we're getting ready to get into Leo season, and that's going to be forming sextiles with your sign, Gemini, and that really opens up opportunities for you to pursue any sort of like avenues you want to do there, Gemini, because yours is a very, you know, on top of being, you know, Mercury ruled, you know, that makes your mind very curious, very smart, very witty. You know, you are a very inventive, you know, innovative type of sign. So really, if we got any kind of passions, any kind of ideas, I feel like this energy too is like, who knows what you may have. It may be the next big thing here, Gemini. So something to think about there. But let's get some tarot on this, get some details. Oh, there you are, Gemini. You and who else did that? Aries did that too, where they came out in a very strong way there. So, thank you. Let's see what you got going on here, Gemini. Oh, okay. No, I like that. Oh, and the world here. All right. Interesting, Gemini. So you have the Devil, the Eight of Pentacles, and the World in reverse, and then you have the Seven of Swords, and then the Lovers upright here. And there's something here, Gemini, that maybe what's preventing this action is something, maybe some sort of it could either be a vice, or maybe it could be maybe even like a mindset that might be keeping us out of whack here. But there's something here that's where the devil in reverse is showing that it's like we have eyes on the thing, but the best example I could think of, Gemini, is that for a spell there, I had me and the devil got into some shenanigans, and I had just kind of chalked it up as being, kind of like being like the party animal. You make your vice fun, and where it's like it's one thing to have. I was aware of what was going down, but there's this energy still of being stuck, you know what I mean? Because it's one thing to have eyes on it. That's like half the battle. Then comes the work, and that's where I feel like that there's this energy here with the Lovers. It's kind of like your, the Lovers for me can be like your higher self kind of winking at you here, and I feel like that is just like, hey, you got eyes on this thing, but it's just like, what are we doing with these facts? You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like there's really like an internal dialogue that's needing to happen here. It's just like really kind of check in. It's just like, are we really feeling at our best here? Do we like staying where we're at right now? Because the thing with the devil is, he'll kick it with you as long as it takes. And this is something that I feel too, Gemini, whatever this is, this doesn't, again, it doesn't just have to be just like your typical kind of drug, sex, alcohol type of deal. This could be maybe even like relationships, maybe that we get into, maybe with the Lovers, or again, mindsets, or anything along those lines. It just feels like that it's that keeps us stagnant, Then I do feel like that there is the nice thing I feel like about the Seven of Swords, because the gold cards are fortunate cards in this deck, and the Seven of Swords can be a card of like, deception and things, but I do feel like it's when we face those vices and things and those mindsets head on, those negative lower vibrations head on, it teaches us new skills, as far as like new routines to get into, to new mindsets to get in. It really helps, move on to that next cycle, to where we go from, because the world is the last stop on the major arcana train, till we jump back onto the Fool again and start something fresh, which could be these new opportunities that come up. Because who knows, Gemini? Well, and listen, Gemini, this isn't kind of medical. This isn't medical advice, and also, this is a judgment-free zone, and this could even, bring up your energies. Who knows how this could maybe even inspire you, how you can reconnect with your higher self. And it's nice, once you get into that groove. But it is something that I feel like this is a pretty big statement here, with the devil being Capricorn energy, the world being Saturn energy. Saturn rules over Capricorn, and they're the achievers of the zodiac, but it's Saturn is he's a planet at a time, and you got to be patient with Saturn type energies. It's a build up, but all right. And I like that, Gemini. And look at you, let's keep you centerpiece here, and then let's get another oracle card on the mix. Let's see what else we got, Gemini. Ooh, and look at that. We put in some patience, and now we done hit the mother lode. You got the first card of Virgos here, which is the mother lode card. Look at you, abundant. And with this card, this is a card of prosperity, jackpot, success, good fortune, having plenty, moneymaker, sudden wealth, the real deal, on easy street, accomplishment, advantage, fortune, and the prime source. And the energy that's coming through here, Gemini, is the success and the accomplishments. And I feel that it's focusing on all of these successes. You know what I mean? The big and the small ones. Because it's all those, especially the, because I feel like, when we're in the big ones, of course, we're going to, we're going to go big. But I feel that it's really the small ones kind of in particular that sometimes we tend to skip over. Just say if we've been kind of low energy and then we wake up one day and it's just like, got a full night's sleep and just like feeling rested. That's a win. It's an increase from where we had started. And it just like, that maybe we're feeling more inspired today. Maybe we're even thinking about we're changing things up a little bit. Maybe instead of going one way to work, you're like, let me take this way. Let's take the scenic route. Maybe getting some. Who knows what this is, how this may manifest. But I feel that if we can get into that place, of celebrating the successes and the accomplishments, it could lead to this state of abundance in the long run here, Gemini. And also I feel too, even when if we happen to, because it happens, Gemini, from time to time, the devil because the devil has a very unorthodox way of helping us grow, how he'll throw stuff in our face. But even when if we happen to slip up every now and again, it's a reminder of just like, okay, but it's like, yeah, this happened. Okay, we're restarting fresh, and this is a reminder of why I set out on this thing in the first place. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's going to be how you communicate with yourself is going to be, which is always important, Gemini. I feel like especially for you being a sign of communication. But what we're telling ourselves as far as like how we're succeeding over this stuff, because any sort of steps towards this healing is and growth is a step in the right direction as far as higher self is concerned. But let's get some tarot on this to get some more details. Let's see what else we got here, Gemini. Ha! And there's the Fool. Oh, and the Sun. I love it, Gemini. Let's see what we got here. You got an abundant little pocket here. Wow, I like that. Because you got the Four of Swords, the Sun, the Page of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, and the Fool upright here. And then we have the Four of Pentacles in reverse, Gemini. And talk about abundance. That's a lot of abundance and a lot of peace, too. A lot of, like, a lot of weight off our shoulders. I feel like with this Four of Swords being here, the Four of Swords can be like a card of rest. Like the swords deal with like the mind and the intellect, and yours being Mercury ruled. That's, you can have a very active mind there, Gemini, and it just feels like that. For some of you, if we've been feeling kind of stuck in that sort of cycle here, it's like we got eyes on things, but it's just like we're having maybe, just having troubles taking that first step. Realize that it doesn't have to be like a massive step, like it can be baby steps, I feel like for example, just because I was talking about drinking, it could be where, let's say if we're on like an everyday streak, then let's cut out like one day and maybe do that for a week or so. And then we're feeling good, let's cut another day. And then however you want to tailor it. But it's just like, as long as I feel like that, it's just we're getting to the state of balance and temperance, then I feel like we're on the track to getting to that state of stability there, that King of Pentacles. But we have to start somewhere. We all got to start at the page and see, how do we make that manifest? What is that? What type of routines are we getting into? And this could even be too, maybe for some others, just even thinking about this. It's like, I feel like with the Four of Pentacles here, for some, maybe if we've been thinking about, either starting up like a side gig, or maybe even like a side hobby or things, or maybe even just starting up our own type of company here. Just thinking with the King of Pentacles. I feel like that it's the Four of Pentacles here is like saying like to break out of this comfort zone. The Sun, the Fool. I feel like it's like really kind of being real sure of yourself, and just like it's knowing that sure we may start at that beginner's phase, but I feel like it's the energy saying not to be afraid to be a beginner, because it's when we get through this over time, it's all a matter of experience, And I feel like, especially since you got the World in Capricorn here, I do feel that there would be this energy of success and accomplishment, but it won't be if we don't do anything, because sometimes too, the Lovers can be a choice, and this could be where we could either let like a devil situation, maybe like fear, could be another thing where it's just like we can let that hold us back, or we can let that fuel us. Because this is a very little abundant pocket here, and I feel that this I feel is what happens, this state of stability and maybe even like mental ease and things. It comes from, I feel, like following that like following your heart, and really kind of very interesting energy here. Alright, Gemini, I'm with it. Let's put you up there. And you do got quite a lot of gold cards here. I was just like, ooh, if I could barely look at your cards, it's so bright. Let's get your last oracle card here. Alright, Gemini, last card here. Interesting. Alright, you got the first card of Scorpios here, which is the Crystal Ball card. And with this card, this is a card of intuition, premonition, seeing clearly, discernment, perception, sixth sense, instinct, divination, future planning, ESP, past, present, future, gut reaction, and inner knowing. An energy that's coming through here, Gemini, is the perception. Because I was kind of thinking too. There was this. The Four of Pentacles, this was interesting that I felt like this was in reverse. I feel like for some, it's like maybe we're not feeling this level of prosperity. Like it's it's like maybe if we've kind of come off, it's like maybe for some we've been working on this self-improvement maybe thing for a little while, and it's taking us maybe what we pictured the King of Pentacles, or how getting towards that state of stability would be. I'm not necessarily saying it would have been easier, but we've maybe been further along than maybe we thought. But I feel that it's with this perception, Gemini, this is perfect for you, because you're a sign of duality, one of the signs, and it is a matter of perspective. Every time like one of your cards, the Ten of Swords, pops up, it's one of those things we could either see it as that there's been no growth, that that life is against you, all those things, or we can look at ourselves back then, look to the past, see where you were at, before you set off on this thing, where are you at presently, and then I feel like when it comes to the future, I feel like it's what can you do in the present to set future you up for success. What is this Page of Pentacles doing? How is he, what ways is he, doing good, shining some light on some things, doing some healing, going towards his dreams, or, what can we do to get, yes, like even like connecting with higher self here, just like, because you are, to have that dual nature, Gemini, that is a very, because air signs are very intuitive in an interesting type of way, and it's one where, because I've been reading this book, and every time it mentions the Fool, like Uranus is represented by the Fool, You know, talk about Uranus energy, which is Aquarius's ruler, being very intuitive, and Mercury energy is just. I feel like it's yeah. There's and you'll probably hear a lot like the that thoughts are powerful and things along those lines. But really, for the air signs, that's I feel like a really big thing, because you are being the intellectuals of the zodiac. You what you think comes into being. So just I do feel like it's we could either again look at it as yeah, interesting, Gemini. Let's get some tarot on this. All right, Gemini. Last little bit here. Ah, there's your ruler, and I like that too. You got interesting, Gemini. I like this because there's a lot going on here, because you have the Magician, the Hermit, and the Four of Wands in reverse here, and then we have the Strength card upright, and then my computer just went to sleep. There we go. Let's switch back over. Because with this energy, Gemini, I feel like there's a lot of things that once your perception, once we get like our mind like kind of lined up with where we want to be, I feel like things are going to really start cooking up for you here, because the Magician is Mercury, your ruler, and I almost feel like that this is going to be that maybe for some it's just that there's this need of just like kind of needed to take a moment and just kind of sit with yourself. And I know that can be hard with air energy, to kind of sit with your mind, as active as it can be, but I do feel like that there is revitalizing energy there. It would be that we'd find some ways to, I don't know, just develop this confidence, or this inner strength to tackle whatever obstacles comes your way, or something along those lines, Gemini. But I do feel like with the Four of Wands, it's like I feel like there's a need to, where we're kind of at this place of needing to just kind of like check in and just see where we're at. Have you not been feeling inspired? Have things just been out of whack? What is what's happening here? Because there's and when I was saying there's like a lot going on earlier, it's just like you got, because the Magician rules both you and Virgo. Both you and Virgo's here. Virgo's the Hermit, and then you got the Sun and Leo here. The Sun rules over Leo, and then more Saturn and Capricorn. So there's a lot of stuff I feel like that's trying to line up in your head right now, that maybe we're trying to make sense of. And I feel like once those things start to click, it's really going to, I don't know, just kind of really open your mind to a lot of things here. I even feel with the Sun, and it's very, very interesting here. And just a little extra sidebar here. Mercury and Uranus. Uranus is considered the higher octave of Mercury, and that's where I feel like it's something is, you might be in for like a big kind of glow up here, sort of Gemini, like something mind blowing, I feel, or like some sort of like maybe like epiphany, or some sort of like something is getting ready to interesting. A lot to sit with, Gemini, I think. So I think I'm going to leave that there, because I could stay in that for a minute. That's fascinating. But if anything resonated with you, give it a thumbs up. And share this. I just had another thought. I was just like, no, that doesn't. But and share this, Gemini. If you know someone who's, I'm not sure, maybe they're just like feeling stuck, or just having, or I'm interesting, or maybe even like in sort of like a weird kind of mindset where we're just not feeling abundant, or something along those lines, not feeling like we can trust our intuition, or something like that, Gemini. And then subscribe, hit that bell button to get notified when I release videos each week. Then I'm on this meditation app. This might be something to check out, Gemini Insight Timer. I started a group on there called Zodiacs Raising the Vibration. And it's just a group to post positive messages, encouraging affirmations, things along those lines. And as it grows, I'm going to start posting different... So I was just realizing how much major arcana you even got here too, Gemini. This is a lot. But started posting different positive guided meditations, guided affirmations, things along those lines, binaural beats, maybe doing like connecting with your higher self with the lovers, or manifesting with the magician, something along those lines. So definitely check that out, Gemini. And then last thing, if you have any, I don't think you have any Cancer's cards here, and that's fine. If you have any Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, come on over to my other channel, The Cherryden Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We discuss lunar shenanigans. It's a good old time. And all that housekeeping down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here so I can get you out of here, Gemini. And this is interesting too, Gemini, because now I was thinking about that you would get this intuitive card here of Scorpios here, but there's not any cups. I'm just realizing that's going down here. And it feels like with this Nine of Wands being in reverse, I'm going to get your Oracle card here in a second, but it feels like with the Nine of Wands, it's almost like we've almost reached this state of... I don't know, Gemini. It's like it's giving me like a sense of burnout, but it more so, it doesn't feel like a physical thing per se. It feels almost like a mental type of burnout. Like this is very interesting, Gemini. Let's get your Oracle card, see if I can get a little bit more on that. Interesting. Alright, so for your Oracle card, you got the Witch Bones upright. And for some reason, I'm getting an energy of needing to just like really kind of get down to like the meat and bones of things. It's interesting, like kind of like strip things down to a raw kind of state. I'm not quite sure what that... Hey, one more. Interesting. Okay, and then you got the Fire card in reverse here. And so I feel like that there's something here that's... For some, there's like this... It's like maybe we're pouring our... It's almost like we're going against our needs or something along those lines, or like our what we know or something. It's like where, let's say for example, if you're still, because the thing that popped in my head is like we're on a drinking thing, but let's say you're not a big fan of it, but I'm thinking about some of those movies where it's like, they'll have the office like go out, so where you have to go out and like drink with the boss and things, and he's like making these impressions, but you're not a big fan, and it's like going against your drive or something along those lines here, Gemini. It's Now I wish I had I'm not... This feels like that there's... Yeah, for some, this feels like a completely separate thing, where it's like there's this energy of like a fire that's needing to be lit or something like that. Because even looking at this heart, it's like the heart's been extinguished or something like that, and there's a need to maybe take action to spark that up again with that, just thinking with that dynamite card or something along those lines. We're not... Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave that there, Gemini. I'm not like... Oh yeah, hopefully you can find the nugget of wisdom that I'm trying to get out of there, but... But you stay safe out there. So where are we at? Yeah, you stay safe out there. Yeah. you raise your vibration through the roof. Maybe do some meditation here, because this you do have a lot of major arcana here, and this is something wherever can, like, it's like I'm trying to get access somewhere and it's not letting me in. So it's like it's so it feels like it's something to sit with, Gemini. It's just like a matter of just something to sit with, Gemini. And I will catch you on the next one later.